million online rendezvous. We are live now on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I welcome all those of you who are listening. 1 million by 1 million, as you know, is the first and only global virtual accelerator. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue, help 10 million jobs and $1 trillion in global GDP come together. So in support of that mission, we do all kinds of things. One of the things you must check out is our free public roundtables where you can bring your projects and I will work with you. These are safe working sessions where you can come and pitch your projects and I will give you strategy guidance on how to remove roadblocks, how to deal with your issues, whatever feedback you're looking for, I'll be happy to give you that feedback. If you go to our YouTube channel, you'll find lots of recordings of these sessions and you'll learn a lot from those. Now, at these sessions, at the rendezvous, the online rendezvous that we've started doing more recently, I think we started back in September, and this is, I just want to set expectations to all of you. This is something that is new with LinkedIn. We were invited as a part of the beta program of LinkedIn Live, so there's a lot of kinks that still need to be ironed out. So if you're having technical difficulties, bear with us, okay? We are trying to work with LinkedIn and Social Live, which is a platform that we're working with to make sure that things go smoothly, but there are still lots of kinks. Facebook, it seems to be a little bit smoother, and Twitter seems to be a bit smoother, but LinkedIn still has kinks. So that's just a little caveat before I get started. And the other possibility, it is video. So I don't know, I know people from all over the world tune into these broadcasts. So if you have problems looking at the video, it could also be that you are in a place where you don't have strong enough bandwidth. So, streaming video requires a lot of bandwidth. So you could be on a weak connection and you could be having difficulty with the video viewing as well. But if you manage to work through all of that, I hope you will find today's content useful and interesting. So what I'm doing is I am assembling a bunch of questions that I've got from various people through the various touch points that I engage with the community through, and I'm answering some of them. So today I'm going to start with a question that we got in the last session, and I always promise you that if you ask questions in this session, I will definitely spend the time to go through all the questions that you ask, and I will make sure I answer them in the upcoming sessions. And I will engage with you also in the public chat. So feel free to ask questions in the comment section on any of the platforms, and I will definitely go back and check and engage with you. And in some cases, if it's a longer answer that I want to provide, I will pick that question up and address it in the next session. So today, the question that I'm going to answer from the last session is when to quit while bootstrapping with a paycheck. So my book, Bootstrapping with a Paycheck, offers a close look at a mode of entrepreneurship that has become a major trend. Entrepreneurs are starting companies in droves while still holding on to their full-time jobs. It's a very, very big trend, and we see this constantly in our community, in our work with entrepreneurs, which we've been doing for 15 years. 1 million by 1 million has been around for almost 10 years. We see this all the time, and we've had a lot of success helping entrepreneurs bootstrap with a paycheck. So 2 interviewers, Amina Elahi from the Chicago Tribune and Catherine Harvey from Union Tribune San Diego, asked me the same question as well. If you're bootstrapping a startup with a paycheck, when is the right time to quit? The answer is this is a personal choice that depends on your life circumstances, but at the minimum, you should definitely validate your business idea and determine whether it's going to generate money. Talk to customers and make sure they're interested in buying. And keep in mind that most venture capitalists will not fund you until you're running your business full time. So before you go out to raise money, you're going to need to quit your day job. So there are two things. One, if you're bootstrapping, you can bootstrap with the paycheck for much longer than you would be able to if you are interested in raising money. So, one of the things that you would need to think about is, are you going to bootstrap for a long time, or are you going to try to raise money? If you're going to raise money, try to validate while bootstrapping with the paycheck so that you can go to VCs with a validated business, and that's a fine situation. And there are many other, nuances to this issue. I strongly recommend you read the Bootstrapping with a Paycheck book, or if you join the 1 million by 1 million basic or premium, you'll have access to our curriculum where we teach this topic extensively. There's a whole module with lots of case studies and lots of insights on bootstrapping with a paycheck. There are, on this subject, there are two other relevant questions to consider. Should bootstrapping employees tell their bosses about their side businesses? It's a trick question. A lot of people are actually disclosing, and the bosses are quite fine with it. In the tech industry, employers are encouraging employees to become more entrepreneurial. It's considered a plus, not a minus. We are working with a bunch of companies. We've worked with Oracle for 6 years on their intrapreneurship program, where they're running corporate incubation on our platform. They're asking employees to become entrepreneurial, and they call it intrapreneurship. Corporations are willing to incubate these ideas, give resources, and in some cases even give money in exchange for a piece of the company. So the attitude of corporations vis-a-vis employees starting companies has changed dramatically. So you could ask, how can you do this without angering your employer? If you're working for a tech company or a digital agency and building an e-commerce business on the side, if you tell your employer you're doing that, the employer is not going to care, as long as you don't encroach upon your day job. You should not encroach upon your day job, because then you're not going to fulfill your obligations to your employer. That is unethical, and no employer is going to put up with it. So in your choice of what you want to work on, you need to make sure that you're not working with something competitive to your employer and so forth. If you do that, then you should quit, not try to bootstrap with a paycheck. Just to reinforce the point that you can, and in many situations should, bootstrap your startup with a paycheck, I want to point you to an entrepreneur, Girish Navani of eClinical Works, who has built a billion-dollar unicorn company in this mode. You can find lots of material about Girish's work and his journey. You could go to our blog, the One by One blog, and you'll find the case study of eClinical Works. You can read the interview. There are two interviews, one in Entrepreneur Journeys and one in Thought Leaders in Healthcare IT. You could read both and understand what he is doing, what he has done, how he has put one foot before the other in the bootstrapping with the paycheck mode. And I also had him at one of our 1 million by 1 million roundtables. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you find a video interview with Girish as well. So this is a very, interesting case study that should inspire you greatly and give you lots of counterpoints to the thing that, you can't bootstrap with a paycheck, you have to quit and start full time. So we are big believers in bootstrapping with paychecks. Okay, if you have questions on that topic, feel free to ask those questions in the public chat. And as I said, I will be happy to spend more time on this topic in the next session. We are going to go to a second question, which is, at what stage one should apply to Y Combinator or 500 startups? And you could substitute those names with anything, Techstars or any other, good. So my take on this question is, do you want to get into Y Combinator? If you want to apply, you obviously want to get in. Then try to understand Y Combinator's motivation. Y Combinator is a small venture fund. They invest small amounts of seed money. They take equity in your venture. They behave exactly like VCs. They want to invest in validated businesses. It's counterintuitive, right? You are looking to go to an incubator or an accelerator with an idea, and you want them to help you learn how to turn that idea into a business. No, no, no. That's not how Y Combinator Techstars 500 startups are operating. They're operating as VCs. They want you to bring them validated businesses, and then they will invest. So ask Jazz Grewal. Jazz bootstrapped a company called CareScore with a paycheck for 2 years. Jazz spoke with 30 hospitals to validate his idea. CareScore had 2 customers before Jazz applied to Y Combinator, 2 paying customers. So while at Y Combinator, Jazz did 160 customer presentations. On demo day at Y Combinator, he raised $4.5 million in funding. So Jazz really used Y Combinator the way it's best used. He came in with a pre-fleshed out concept, including validation. He knew whom he was selling to. He had paying customers. He used Y Combinator to do more customer presentations and get more validation. And then Y Combinator is really good at raising money. So if you bring them a validated idea with enough TAM, then you would be able to raise money using their network. So that's what Jazz did, and that worked out very well for him. If you try to apply to Y Combinator with a concept, you won't get in. If you get in with a half-baked concept, you won't raise funding on demo day because it will take time. You will waste a golden opportunity. Instead, spend 2 years bootstrapping with a paycheck. You don't need to part with any equity. Validate, generate traction, then apply to Y Combinator. The probability of fundraising will be way above average. So one possibility is that you could come to 1 million by 1 million, and while you're bootstrapping with a paycheck, you could join 1 million by 1 million and work with us to get the knowledge and the guidance that you need before going to Y Combinator. So you could use 1 million by 1 million to prepare for Y Combinator, and if it takes you 2 years, that's fine. 3 years, that's fine. But you line up your ducks, get to a point, and you're not parting with any equity because Y Combinator does not take equity. Sorry, we take equity. Y Combinator takes a significant amount of equity. 1 million by 1 million doesn't take any equity. So you could use 1 million by 1 million as your accelerator to prepare, and then join Y Combinator once you have validation and once you have created a TAM model. You need a large enough TAM for VCs to be interested in you. And Y Combinator, in evaluating your application, is going to evaluate if you have that kind of TAM or not. So all that prep work to apply for Y Combinator, you can do with us. That's a perfectly fine strategy. Again, if you have questions on that topic, these are very complex topics. If you have questions, by all means, ask your questions in the public chat, in the comment section, and I will answer those questions later. I am going to go to a third question now, which is, can a startup raise a lot of money and then go out of business? To answer this, I'm going to tell you a story. And this is the story of Nasty Gal. Nasty Gal is a death by overfunding story, and it's a tragic story. Over the past decade, online clothing sales have ballooned, and Nasty Gal and its founder, Sophia Amoruso, had managed to build a big brand and fan following among millennials. However, the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in November 2016. Los Angeles-based Nasty Gal was founded in 2006 when a community college dropout, Sophia Amoruso, started selling a highly curated selection of vintage clothing on an eBay page. Within 5 years of inception, it became one of the leading international sites for new and vintage clothing, shoes, and accessories. The online store gained low-price inventory by finding designer products from places such as Salvation Army stores. A Chanel jacket that she bought for $8 at one such store sold for $1,000. She styled, photographed, captioned, and shipped the products herself for the goods she sold. By 2015, Nasty Gal was estimated to have 2.3 million Instagram fans and 1.3 million Facebook fans. It had over 37,000 likes a day on its social media posts. According to MarketWatch, about 42% of its active social media following was in the 25 to 34-year-old category. In 2015, the company did $300 million in sales. After it gained popularity, Nasty Gal was not able to source all its inventory from low-price stores and started sourcing its products from Los Angeles-based vendors who sell vintage-inspired products. It also started producing its own private label clothes. There was a wise strategy that offered much better margins, and given its knowledge of a large customer base, it could have managed design and inventory effectively by producing collections and sizes to fit its audience. However, in 2014, in a highly debatable move, it opened 2 brick-and-mortar stores in Los Angeles. Soon, Nasty Gal was facing increased competition and higher costs. It had to lay off about 10% of its workforce of 280 people that year. It was also plagued with lawsuits for copyright infringement and allegedly firing employees for being pregnant. In 2011, it was a co-defendant in a lawsuit filed by the Hells Angels for trademark infringement. In 2014, Jamie Spinello sued it for copying one of her necklace designs. In 2016, Pamela Love sued it for copying 3 jewelry designs. In January 2015, Sophia stepped down as the CEO and promoted the company's president, Sherry Watterson, to the CEO post. In her blog, Sophia says that she was pondering over this move for 2 years. She had been wondering if the CEO role is the one that she wanted and the one that she is best at. She stayed on as executive chairman and headed creative and brand marketing. Nasty Gal was built organically for quite some time. In 2011, before it raised money, it had revenue of $28 million and 150,000 customers, 200,000 Facebook fans, 30,000 Twitter followers, and 50,000 Instagram followers. A tremendous achievement for a young entrepreneur in her 20s who was bootstrapping. It received funding of $9 million in March 2012 and $40 million in August 2012 from Index Ventures, and then another $16 million from Ron Johnson in February 2015. Nasty Gal was doing well in its niche of vintage clothing and was able to connect well with the niche audience. And the internet and social media provided a great opportunity to find this audience. However, as Lawrence Lenihan, managing director of First Mark Capital, pointed out, we are ruining potentially wonderful companies out of sheer ignorance of the fashion industry and a lack of understanding of how technology will impact it. We are overcapitalizing companies and forcing unnatural, unsupported expansion. I agree. Investors are overfunding these niche companies and forcing them to grow too rapidly at an unsustainable level. As in the case of Nasty Gal, this has destroyed the very fiber of its success. Not everybody can be a Facebook, Google, or Amazon. For most companies, capital efficiency and a sharp focus on fundamentals and unit economics is very critical. UK online retailer Boohoo is bidding 20 million for, actually bid, not is bidding, it bid 20 million for Nasty Gal. Boohoo targets teen and young female customers, and they look to expand to the US with the Nasty Gal acquisition. For its fiscal year ending February 2016, Nasty Gal made a net loss of $21 million on revenues of $77 million, indicating that the company has been on a downward spiral for several years. Nasty Gal should be a thriving company today if they hadn't been caught up in the venture capital financed hyper-growth mode. Steadily, Nasty Gal could have grown to over 100 million in profitable revenues with no VC money at all. Nasty Gal had no business going out of business. It's a real shame. So thereby overfunding happens all the time. If you're interested in exploring the topic further, go to our website, 1mby1m.com, go to the blog, and we have a whole lot of debt by overfunding stories. Go through them, get a feel for what's happening, why these companies exist, and it would be a tremendous learning process for most of you. And do not repeat these mistakes. When you are in this situation where you're doing fine, don't go if your business doesn't warrant hypergrowth. Okay, switching topics a bit here. I'm going to talk a bit about SaaS companies, which is an area where we are very, very active. We have a lot of SaaS companies in our portfolio and in our community. So the question is, how can SaaS companies with one successful product broaden their product portfolios and not become one-trick ponies? So to answer this question, I will take you to an analysis that I created, which is titled SaaS Companies, You Have an Unprecedented Opportunity. The current market is full of really interesting SaaS companies that have built at least 100 million in annual revenue run rate, ARR. Some have gone public, some are waiting in the wings. There are also many more that are in the 50 million to 100 million ARR range. They serve different segments. Some serve verticals, some horizontal enterprise functions, some large niches, some enterprises, some mid-market, some SMEs. Together, the SaaS market is a healthy, robust, exciting cauldron of innovation. Unlike social media, search, or e-commerce, SaaS is not an oligopoly. Social media is an oligopoly. Facebook, Twitter, a few other companies, that's an oligopoly. E-commerce, Amazon, there are a lot of small companies, but Amazon is really, I mean, almost a monopoly, not just an oligopoly. In some countries, it's an oligopoly. But SaaS is not so. SaaS has numerous very strong companies with very robust growth. So my take on the opportunity that SaaS companies with one product that has reached critical mass have is they can look within. Basically, if they have critical mass in their own segments, now have an unprecedented opportunity of scaling to become much larger businesses by broadening their footprints. They can look within and they can look outside to identify the growth levers. Let me explain. Let's talk about look within first. Any company that has built a substantial business in any software category has core competency within its folds. It has highly capable engineers who have developed some degree of domain knowledge in their sphere. It has product managers who are in touch with customers. It has sales engineers who are in regular and even closer touch with customers. It has salespeople who know the customers and the competition well. If you're a large company listening to this and you're in this position, you need to establish a methodology for intrapreneurship and that systematically captures the tribal knowledge that is floating in your organization. You need to proactively identify the 50 million, 100 million, 200 million blocks of opportunities that are adjacent to your current product line and lying latent within your organization. You have the channel. If you identify these product opportunities and get them developed internally, you have the channel. You can sell to that channel, through that channel. And you can broaden your product portfolio. It's a tried and true strategy. There are companies that are doing it. If you look at Atlassian, they're doing it very well. We'll talk about Atlassian in a moment. I've got a question on Atlassian that I want to answer. Look outside. The other options, look outside. SaaS has been the most prolific area for entrepreneurship in recent times. There are numerous SaaS companies out there. Do you have a systematic process to harness this massive body of innovation that could very well be strategically aligned with your product strategy? Which of these should you acquire? Which of these should you invest in? Which of these should you OEM? All of these are options. You can create a co-branded accelerator, perhaps with us, to really create global system to bring in these companies that are adjacent and that you should be looking at acquiring, investing in, or OEMing. So the question then is, why now? You may be thinking that this has not been true. This has been true forever in the history of software. What's the big deal now? Well, the big deal is that since 2013, every year, just in the US, 50,000 to 70,000 startups have received seed funding. SaaS has been a major category in that pool. Currently, this number has likely increased to 100,000, just because the amount of money in the seed market is much larger. Over 700 micro VCs has come into the market in the last 3 to 5 years. These micro VCs range in 15 million to 100 million fund sizes. However, the Series A gap continues to broaden. Only 1,200 to 1,500 companies get VC funding a year, and the metrics required for a company to qualify for a real Series A is a minimum of 1 million ARR, often 2 million ARR. Not only that, Series A VCs want the velocity question answered before they take a leap. Is this company going to go from 1 million to 3 million to 10 million to 25 million to 50 million to 75 million to 100 million in a 7-year time frame? Is it going to go from 0 to 100 million in a 5-year to 7-year time frame? Most companies, with or without seed funding, don't get to these metrics. This may sound counterintuitive, but those who do are not necessarily your best acquisition targets. They may be good targets for investment alongside a Series A VC syndicate or perhaps an OEM partnership opportunity, whereby you white label their product to sell through your channel and get better ROI on your sales force. But in the other pool of tens of thousands of bootstrapped or seed-funded companies that have not cracked the velocity equation, there are many rough diamonds for you to mine. Does the company have product market fit? If so, you need to take a long, hard look at why it hasn't achieved velocity. Could it be that they don't have sales DNA? Many tech entrepreneurs start from the beginning, from the engineering side, and don't know how to build a repeatable sales process. Is that why they're not scaling? And if yes, then what can your high-performance sales force do with that product? Maybe your sales force is the answer to the velocity question. This is an excellent and very affordable acquisition opportunity for your company. You can probably acquire the company for 5 million to 15 million, depending on how far along it is. And of course, if the company is very, very early, but with a talented product team with significant size but struggling to finance itself, then an acqui-hire is eminently possible. Note also that the opportunity is now global, not just the US and certainly not just Silicon Valley. India is full of SaaS companies, even Europe has plenty of SaaS companies. And in these emerging venture markets, exits tend to be few and far between. Entrepreneurs and investors are really hungry for exits, and their expectations are often not Silicon Valley scale. India especially has billions of dollars of capital that is being deployed into startups, and very little has come out by way of exits. To tap into this global opportunity fueled by hyperactive SaaS startup trend, you need to craft precise process and methodology. For the last 5 years, we at 1M by 1M have been involved in creating processes of this nature in collaboration with our software vendor partners. The experience has been enlightening, to say the least. Our most successful enterprise software entrepreneurship partner runs 1 million by 1 million challenges twice a year, open to their 140,000 global employee base. We train large number of front engineers with no background in entrepreneurship to validate ideas and assess business cases, size markets, analyze ROI. We are unearthing multiple, several hundred million product ideas a year, and even billion-dollar ideas surface from time to time, all fully fleshed out based on which investment or acquisition decisions can be made easily. On the other side, our community is full of our community of 500,000 around the world. We constantly see companies that are finding product market fit and could be excellent acquisition targets for high-performing SaaS companies looking to grow. A recent example is from our January 4th, 2018 roundtable, mentoring roundtable, where a small company from India called Voltage came to seek guidance. The company is applying AI to contract evaluation and would be an excellent acquisition, for example, for Aptus. I see a lot of ad hoc efforts in managing entrepreneurship or managing developer ecosystems, trying to acquire from developer ecosystems. I see a lot of catch-all corporate venture fund announcements. I see a lot of Brownian motion. My observation, with my hands deep and dirty in this game, is that it is far, far more complex to do this effectively and systematically. But if you succeed, you have a gold mine out there. You can become the next Salesforce, the next ServiceNow, the next Workday. It is doable. It is eminently doable. So in that context, I'm going to answer another question. Can you talk more about the 1 million by 1 million Blackboard Social Good Startup Challenge? This is an example of a SaaS company, a public SaaS company that is actually working with us to introduce process into incubating an ecosystem. So I'll tell you what this startup challenge is. It's called the Blackboard 1M by 1M Social Good Startup Challenge. Blackboard is the world's leading cloud software company powering social good. And as you know, 1 million by 1 million is a global virtual accelerator, and we have come together to launch the Blackboard 1M by 1M Social Good Startup Challenge. It's open to early stage companies with products that extend or complement the Blackboard vertical solutions. The competition will select startups through an application process to be rewarded with a scholarship to the 1 million by 1 million premium program and access to the Blackboard Sky developer platform with a shared test environment, a private support channel, and one-on-one help setting you up for success with your integrations with Blackboard. You will have the ability to reach thousands of Blackboard customers. Blackboard has 45,000 customers. So you have the ability to reach thousands of Blackboard customers by making your software accessible in product via the connected apps marketplace of Blackboard, add-ins that show your product data features natively in Blackboard Sky products. Ability to join Blackboard's ISV partner program, 1 year for free, including company description on blackboard.com in the partner directory, access to exclusive Blackboard partner events and content, invitation to the Blackboard Partner Summit in 2020. invitations to retail customer events convened by Blackboard Marketing, a demo day to pitch your product to Blackboard vertical sales and product leaders, opportunity to leverage Blackboard marketing channels, blog, podcast, etc., discounted tickets to attend BBCon 2020, Blackboard's premier tech gathering for social good, free Microsoft Azure accounts, credits to services, and architectural design consultation. And a consideration for a 5,000 to 25,000 grant, no strings attached, no equity dilution from Blackboard's new startup fund. All this plus a one-year scholarship to 1 million by 1 million premium, which includes access to weekly mentoring and a proven online digital curriculum to help accelerate the business building progress of entrepreneurs. 1M by 1M also offers access to a vast network of potential customers, channel partners, investors, media analysts, and advisors through the 1M by 1M premium program. So, what is the participation criteria? We're looking for early stage software companies with product in market, at least one paying customer on board. Existing or target customer base in one or more of the following verticals: arts and culture organizations, corporate social responsibility, faith communities, foundations, grant makers, healthcare organizations, higher education organizations, K-12 schools, nonprofit organizations. And your product must be able to integrate with at least one Blackboard product. API access and support is included in the scholarship. So, application deadline is December 1st, 2019, and you can go to our website again and look for the more details about the program, about the announcement. Just do a search on Blackboard 1M by 1M and you will find the announcement. More details are there. Application link is there. The form that you have to fill out to apply. Just a little bit about Blackboard. Blackboard is the world's leading cloud software company powering social good, serving the entire social good community, nonprofits, foundations, companies, education institutions, healthcare organizations, individual change agents. Blackboard connects and empowers organizations to increase their impact through cloud software services, expertise, and data intelligence. Okay, so that's a summary of the Blackboard situation, and I actually don't have. I was planning to give you some an answer to a question about affiliation, but I will do that in the next session. Instead, I'm going to answer a different question. The question is, how can I get feedback from you on my venture? So yes, you are very welcome to come and talk to me. 1M by 1M offers free and online mentoring roundtables for entrepreneurs looking to discuss positioning, financing, and all other aspects of building a startup venture. Up to 5 entrepreneurs who registered to pitch for free online roundtables would be able to present their businesses at a given session. They will gain straightforward feedback, advice on next steps, and answers to questions from me, specifically from me, and possibly from my guests, CEOs, and VCs. Most of my roundtables I have guests and CEOs who are CEOs or VCs. You need to go to the website, 1mby1m.com, 1 the letter M, BY, 1 the letter M.com. Go to the free public roundtables tab. You can register to attend, to listen. You can learn, and you can also join in on the conversations via live chat. Those who want to pitch, register to pitch, and you will receive instructions on what you need to do to pitch. And all who register will receive a recording of the session by email the next day. The next few roundtables are November 21st and November 27th are the next two. And then December 19th is the one after that, because I'm traveling after Thanksgiving. I'm traveling for a couple of weeks. So what I would recommend is go to the One by One website and do the self-assessment. There's a lot of great questions that investors would ask you. I suggest you ask those questions of yourselves so that you will be prepared. If you get stuck, you can always go to the basic program, the One by One in Basic, and access the One by One curriculum, and you will be able to plug your knowledge gaps. But I think those are very good ways to get yourselves prepared. There's a tremendous learning curve. The first-time entrepreneur's journey is an incredibly steep learning curve journey. So you better get people who know what they're doing and who have done it before to help you out. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. And we are one of those types of people who can help you out. There are others out there, obviously. And note, we only work with IT and IT-enabled services businesses. We don't work with clean tech. We would work with IT as it pertains to clean tech, but not clean tech per se. We would not work with pharmaceutical companies. We would not work with solar panel companies, for example. It will have to be IT and IT-enabled services. All right. I hope to work with some of you in the upcoming roundtables, and I will see you back here probably on Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And catch me through any of those touch points. I'm very accessible. So come by. See you soon. Thank you for coming today. Bye.